Alright, welcome everyone. It's been a long time since my previous series of tutorials because I was very busy in real life with real work and stuff like projects and lessons and stuff like that. So I couldn't make any other tutorials. But here I am to do another multiplayer session tutorial. I'm doing another one because I'm going to use a plugin that someone posted on the net that allows us to go into more advanced features like server name and stuff like that. So I'm going to make another tutorial using that plugin, and I believe it's going to be cleaner than the previous one. So if you didn't follow the previous tutorial, you don't need to follow it to start this one. I'm going to start fresh. Well, actually not exactly fresh. That's why I'm here with already stuff on my scene. It's because I'm going to do this tutorial on one of my projects in the same time that I'm telling you that I'm teaching you what I do. So it's going to be live actually. And this is the first video of the series, and I'm just going to wrap my project up in order to make it work for multiplayer. I'm going to enable the multiplayer pretty much. So, well, regarding the things I have on my scene, don't worry about that. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to specify each time how to get it to work with your setup. But I'm going to ask you to start with the third-person templates if you want to follow this tutorial, pretty much because the multiplayer movement is already replicated, so you can already move with several players. So that's it for the introduction, I believe. I won't go into the details of multiplayer and how to make several players, how to have several window and such, because I count on you to know all the basic stuff already. So that's it. First thing we need to do in our project. So I'm going to ask you to open up your project. Remember, third-person example, third-person blueprint. So I'm going to ask you to copy paste some lines. So I'm on the Unreal web page, and we need to add a line on one of the file in our window folder of our project. So that's this line. So online subsystem default platform service, and we're going to specify what default platform service we want for our internet to work. And basically, since we're not connected to Steam or any other kind of server, we're going to say we don't want any server here, but at least it's going to actually enable the multiplayer on our project. So we're going to copy that. We're going to go into our window explorer. So I think we need to close that our project first. So in your project folder, go to config, if I remember well. Wait, I can just check there. So engine.ini, default engine.ini. So double click that. It's going to open a text pad, a notepad. So you can add our line of code pretty much anywhere in between another category. So not like I'm doing right now. Yep, like that. And remember, default platform identifier, we don't want that. We want default platform service equals null. So save that, close that, and we're going to create, reopen our project. We're going to create several assets that are going to be used to basically to make the multiplayer flow. So what we need. So I have lots of stuff. Don't worry about that. I'm going to make a special folder for that. So in my player folder. So I'm on my I'm on in my hierarchy. I have everything. I have top-down BP. I'm suppose you're going to have third-person BP folder, and inside of that you're going to have blueprint. So in that blueprint folder, you can create your folder, the folder I'm going to create, or you can create it if you already make some arrangement. You can create it there. Anyway, we're not going to spend hours on that, so I'm just going to create a new folder that I'm going to call menu player. Actually, I'm going to call it outgame menu, and I'm going to put it there in the blueprint section, outgame menu that I just created. So what we need. Well, we need a player controller. I'm doing that with an alternate player controller, not the one I'm using for my game. So we're going to create a new one. I'm going to call it outgame P controller. We're going to do something like we have a blank level with a menu. We can create a station from there. Other player can join from their menu. They can browse server. They can choose one to join. They will be able to join the server. The server will be able to start the game, and we're going to teleport the players into the game. So basically, that's basically it. So yep, we need a player controller. We need a HUD, user interface, widget blueprint. I'm going to call that outgame menu. Up without the star, outgame menu. We're going to need a game instance. So what's that? The game instance is why don't I have the game instance? Or am I just blind? Nope, I don't have the game instance. Why don't I? Oh, okay. Without the space, so game instance, select. And I'm not going to call that outgame. I'm going to call that top-down game instance. But I suggest you call that with the name of your project first, then underscore game instance. And I'm going to pull that in at the root of my blueprint folder, actually in system folder. So you can put it wherever you want. That just doesn't matter. That's for me, since I'm building up a project, I need to have a proper hierarchy. So, but it doesn't matter where you put that. So the top-down game instance. Well, I'm going to remove the underscore to keep my hierarchy clean. Sorry, up, down. So what's that? That's something that spawns right when you start the game. It's not an actor, it's not something present on the level, it's something that just spawns on the server only. It spawns and it holds information, it can hold information that will persist through level traveling. So if you want to store information from the menu to the level 1, let's say, the game instance is used to do that. It will also handle the player connection stuff. So we're going to build a lot of logic, a lot of multiplayer connection and flow in the game instance itself. And we need another thing that I'm going to create right there actually. We need a game mode that is going to be used for our menu. So the game mode, if you don't know what that is, the game mode is basically sets the rule of a level. So here in my game level, I'm using the top-down game mode that basically says, hey, spawns that player controller and that player character. But since I created a new player controller for my menu, I want a game mode that tells my menu to spawn that controller. So I'm going to create a top-down game mode that create everything I want that sets the rule of my menu. So I'm going to create a new blueprint class, game mode. Actually, I can just click there. So outgame game mode. And I'm going to review real quick the different assets we got. So we're going to spawn on a level that we didn't create, so we're going to create right now. In your map folder, that's pretty important. You want to save your level in the map folder, in the standard map folder in your hierarchy. So if you check your hierarchy, you should have a map folder or a level folder, and you should put that in either the level or the map folder. That's pretty important for the rest of the videos. So in my map folder, I'm going to create a new level that I'm going to call outgame level. I'm going to save, and I'm going to open it. That's basically a blank level, so there's nothing. So we get what we get there. The players are going to hit play, they're going to be spawned in that level, they're going to have our widget menu we created, they're going to have a controller to handle all that stuff, listen to the inputs. There will be a game mode that says, hey, you want that controller, and there will be a game instance that will handle the player connections. I think we pretty much set up here, so I'm going to wrap up that video, and I hope you enjoyed it. It really looks like the first video. This tutorial will pretty look like the previous tutorial. I'm sorry about that, but it will I need to cover the basics like I did in the previews for those who didn't. So that's it for that video, and see you in the next one. Bye bye.